Hello, everyone, and this is Reggie with Stock Talk. And today we want to talk about GameStop. What the heck happened? It went parabolic, man. Wow. So, this is what we call a short squeeze. So, if you don't know what short squeeze is, do some research on that because that's a whole nother video. But basically, when people bet on the downside and they borrow the stocks, and then at some point, when it goes against them, they're forced to buy the stocks, which creates a gap up in the stock, right? And there are whole companies who base their whole trading style off of shorting stocks. So it's very profitable. But if you get it wrong, man, you'll pay for it. So there's a very famous, a very popular short stock company that a short uh, trading firm that they did, and it should be almost illegal, but it's not. But they announce when things are being shorted. As you remember, this happened with Tesla a while back too. And so they will short the stock, and then they'll announce some bad news about the stock and why it should go down, and they'll profit off of that, right? And a lot of times they'll do it off of trading patterns, right? So that if you see like a bearish pattern on a popular stock, and then you have the resources in the media to release a statement pointing out the obvious, and it gets retail traders to sell, you can profit from it. It's almost stock manipulation, but it is what it is. And so GameStop was one of the obvious ones that would make sense to short. So this is the chart, right? So it gapped up based because of shareholders. I think Microsoft bought some shares in it, and then the founder of Chew also took a stake in a young guy, and so it gapped up, started trading sideways, and this is actually a bullish pattern, but I guess they because the news wasn't that strong, just because of shareholder news, they were expecting it to come down. And yeah, they're saying 20 because that is support. So they expect it to come down to support. So these numbers don't come out of the air. I think it was Citron, their short company, said, it's a $20 stock. I think I heard 12, $10, but that's if it goes way down here back to its old levels. But 20, right, was you think, okay, if this gaps down, it's going to fill, and that happens. It's like a reverse cup, right? Pattern, which is a popular pattern, come down to 20. And so they were betting 20. They probably put millions of dollars on it because they had that type of money. Um, and they got screwed, right? Because I think the people are just tired of this, of short companies doing this to the stocks, right? But GameStop, number one, is a brick and mortar, right? Uh, Gaming company in which people are buying games online or through mobile apps, and so you got this gap up. So if you point out the obvious, it should gap down. And so what happened was people got to social media, and another big company got on social media, and they just bought up the stock. So if it depends, it's the old game of big bank take little bank, and so they released something on their own, and they just bought up the stock, right? So if you buy here, so if you come in with millions of dollars, it's a huge bet. But there's a company out there that came in, and their supporters using social media came in and said, buy GameStop, and they did, and that set off this trend. It's one of many things that set off this trend. And so betting against, because we already know that that short company had shorted the stock, and so if you force a short squeeze, it was forced to using social media and your backing your money. You can force a short squeeze, and that's exactly what they did. And so they force this short company to buy the stock, and many others that follow them to buy the stock, creating a short. So there's an artificial short squeeze. It's genius. So this is the power in numbers, right? This is the power in numbers. So if this is a little confusing, I'm sorry, but this is the power in numbers. This was the power of if everybody decided to buy a stock how it would jump up, right? Especially one that is heavily shorted. So I'll give you some more examples, right? So that's why GameStop jumped up, right? Because it was millions of short, it was heavily shorted stock, and then some bigger bank came in and bought the stock and forced these shorters to buy the stock too, and it went parabolic, and it still has room to run. But if you do take a position at these levels, take a very very short casino type of betting position because not all the shorts are squeezed out, so it may jump up more next week. Um, but yeah, that's it. It's a game. So there's no fundamentals here. It's just a game. Um, if you're looking to invest in GameStop long term, I would just let this ride out and see where it goes. So let me show you some more short squeezes I have on play. In play, I love short squeezes. Um, because it's like, okay, Bed Bath and Beyond, right? I've said that since the earnings. When it was down here at the bottom of the Bollinger Band on earnings, I released a video saying it's a short squeeze. Go long, you'll not regret it. And look at this, boom. So it started off on earnings around $18, ran up way outside these levels. I sold once it got this far outside Bollinger Band. Let it come back inside, right? Come back inside the band, and now it's taking the second run. Boom. And this happened yesterday. And so now we'll see what happens on Monday. On Monday, excuse me, on Monday, it may continue from here, but these are such high levels. Just proceed with caution. Don't bet the house, right? So I'm expecting to come back down here to this trend line at some point, maybe Monday. But if it comes back down, expect more because it's still heavily shorted. So this is another short squeeze. Another one is SunPower, right? So this is a double whammy. It's heavily shorted. It's an energy stock where we have a clean energy friendly president. So there's news headlines that come on clean energy, right? And so this is another short squeeze that's going parabolic. Again, on these short squeezes, don't bet the house at these levels. And we have earnings at the end of February, but this is another one. So take a small position. If it once it dips back down, comes back down a little bit, then go back up again, right? So SPWR, and these are other ones I'm still undecided on. These are short squeezes. Some of these actually deserve to be shorted. But this one, I mean, small positions, um, small option positions. If it's like a $20 option, you can't hurt with that gamble. Yeah, these are one I don't really recommend yet. So still I'm on a watch list. Now, Blink is something that is heavily shorted recently. And Blink is energy, and you think this will be a go, but the reason why is because of its levels. The daily chart looks good, but see the weekly is so far extended above the middle of the Bollinger Band. So either it's going to trade sideways, and the moving average will catch up right around here, like maybe in March, or it's going to keep going parabolic because buyers are buyers no matter what, right? So just be careful with Blink Energy, right? Look at they're further out on the weekly chart. So the daily chart, it looks like a buy because it's hitting the center of the Bollinger Band, but it's starting to gap downwards. I mean, RSI is showing oversold. So just be careful with Blink and a lot of the EV stocks because they're so far extended. There may be a correction in sight, or it could just keep going ham, just keep going parabolic. So that and another short squeeze is Tilray. Tilray is now being heavily shorted again because it's so far extended above the moving averages, right? I trade with Bollinger Bands, and so far above the middle of the Bollinger Band. Um, so you want to get that move when it's hitting it right here in the middle. See, it's in the center, and then boom, right? So it could be just retracing a little bit, come back inside the band, and then heading for a second move up. But just again, small positions. Don't bet the house. And even the weekly chart isn't too bad, but it's still way outside the band. So we needed to settle back in a little bit before taking a big position. But small base hits, if you don't mind losing a little bit of money, that's fine to take advantage of a big move. So even in pre-market, it's kind of down too. So keep an eye on that. So This is Reggie with my input on short squeezes and preferably GameStop. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I trade on chart patterns and technical analysis. I like short squeezes, and so when I see a good short squeeze, I will post it. In order to get notification of that, you have to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This is Reggie. If you have any comments, don't forget to leave a comment below, and I will respond. I'll see you in the next video.